Consider supporting Review Tech USA on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description. 3, 2, I like this man, he's drinking out of a jar. Skip it up and that up. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Rich of Review Tech USA. I know you guys haven't seen me in a few days between my family being sick and everyone passing everything back and forth. That's why I've had been on a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm glad I'm back, and we have a really interesting topic about something that I despise, and that is outrage culture. We live in an era now where you can ruin someone's life by hearsay, and the court of public opinion, in some cases, if not a lot of cases, has more power than the court of law. And that is very disturbing to me, and we have another victim here of the court of public opinion in the outrage culture, 8-Bit Brody. He has an awesome YouTube channel. I've been following it for a very long time. It's very satirical, and he's a prick just like me, which a lot of people don't understand and end up disliking him, which I'm in the same boat, so I could feel what's going on. And something happened to him at a convention he was supposed to go to, ColossalCon. He went there last year. And I'm going to have him explain the story, but it's fairly ridiculous, and this is a sign of the times, and I wanted him on the show to explain it. So, Brody, I'm going to let you take it over from here.
Yeah, for sure. So, just to kind of give everyone an idea of what my channel is, I go to conventions a lot. Think Andy Kaufman, you know, I'm a very eccentric, dorky used car salesman, and I try to give off this persona that, you know, my character thinks he's better than everyone else. He's very pompous and arrogant, but at the same time, he's just kind of a schlub who can't really seem to get anything right. Now, I made this video last year at ColossalCon, and apparently someone took umbrage with this and decided to send it to ColossalCon. Saying, you know, they weren't happy with the fact that this sort of thing was going on at the convention. So instead of contacting me, ColossalCon decided to make a public post about it, sharing my YouTube page, telling people if they see me at any convention that they should report me, because they said that sort of harassment would not be tolerated. That led me to make a response video. Throughout the comments, I received several threats of violence. I received death threats. So I decided to sort of go through the comments one by one and pick apart why a lot of these allegations were false. People were saying, you know, I don't disclose that they're being recorded, but I always give out a business card. I always let people know that, hey, here's my YouTube channel. One girl was in a different video of mine.
Which I saw that, yeah.
Yeah. She actually since has come out and apologized, which I appreciate. She said she misremembered a lot of the facts, that a lot of the events that had happened, and you know, thankfully she came out and posted on the page. But now ColossalCon is actually banning people that are trying to defend me from commenting on their page. They've filed copyright claims against me on all of the videos involving their convention, including the new one, which shows no footage from their convention at all. It's just me talking about the allegations they made against me.
They're trying to shut you up, is what they're trying to do. They don't want you to come out with a differing opinion.
Right, which is ironic, because that's something I talked about in my video, how they're sort of creating this echo chamber where they're silencing voices that don't align with their own.
I think the thing that bothers me the most is, instead of discussing it with, see, I've had that happen to me too, where, you know, someone sends one nasty email saying, I don't like Rich because he did this, 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 and this, and they'll run away screaming, which irritates the crap out of me. It's, again, it's that thing, you're guilty until proven innocent. But credit where credit's due with them. Obviously, I'm not going to name names. They do come to me privately first. I think the worst thing about this is they just threw you under the bus. Like, it was just like totally you were blindsided, and they were just like, yeah, here's this guy. We never even had a discussion with him, but avoid him at all costs and ban him from every con. That is the most amazing thing about that. Ban him from every single convention. Even if you don't... I'm sorry, what were you
thing,
gonna say?
Oh, sorry. One thing that I thought was funny is they mentioned me getting kicked out of other conventions in their post. They said, it's telling that this individual has been banned from other conventions, where the conventions that I've been banned from, I was invited as a guest, and I staged me getting kicked out as a joke. Again, to play up that my character is a schlub that can't get anything right, but I guess they didn't understand that.
And now you said that they're putting you've gotten a strike on your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, they claimed 3 separate videos. One of them they claimed twice, which I thought was ironic. But they're all for trademark and wordmark claims, which I don't use, or not trademark, excuse me, logo and wordmark, which in my videos I don't show their logo or their wordmark at all. So
I think I know what I'm speculating, but from what I've heard is they did that because it's tougher to refute those. So they're being assholes. I think they're tougher to refute than a straight-up copyright claim. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I heard. So they're going below the belt to try to make sure these claims stick to your videos is what they're trying to do.
Which I also thought was funny. If you read YouTube's trademark claims, it says, please try to handle this with the alleged infringer before coming to us. I've received no emails, no contact from ColossalCon. I even told them in my response video, like, you guys know how to contact me. I'm a public figure. There's no stopping you from getting a hold of me. But I have yet to hear a single response from them. And it's gotten to the point where I had a loved one who I've been trying to reassure, this is fine, but they saw some of these, public threats against me, and they sent a message through a friend to the ColossalCon page and said, hey, I'm worried about my loved one's safety. What you guys are creating this mob mentality.
Absolutely.
Where someone literally said, if he steps foot in our convention, he's either going to be killed or we're going to get him thrown out. They said if he steps foot in our convention, he will be killed. And they have yet to respond to my loved one that reached out to them saying they're concerned for my safety.
Because they don't care. They want that mob mentality. And which I find absolutely amazing is that they're looking to be as politically correct as possible, but they'll condone these actions because the people that are looking to go against you, they agree with.
Right.
So they're against what you're doing. They think it's abrasive. They think it's offensive. But if someone threatens to kill you, that's okay because they don't like you and they don't like what you're doing, and those people are on their side. Right. It's the most hypocritical thing that I see all the time on the internet, and it just boggles my mind. It absolutely boggles my mind.
And that was something that I said in my video. A lot of these people push for diversity, just not diversity of thought.
It's the diversity they want. It's
right.
Here's the thing, man. Your videos are excellent. I've told you that from day one as soon as Justin sent me one of them. But you have to be an idiot not to realize that it's satire, that it's parody. And the fact that there is such an outrage over something that it's literally a character. And it's not even like you said anything in the videos that was truly, truly offensive or edgy. It's just you're going to a convention, you're obviously this character, and you're interviewing people and saying stupid shit. Now the other question I have for you too is now I know this woman apologized. Just want to make sure that's out there first. She apologized. Right. I don't want anyone to think that she's still on accusing you. But what happened at first? What was she saying at first before she apologized?
So I think this is a perfect example of that type of culture where people start coming in and wanting to jump on that bandwagon and say, oh, I'm also a victim. And at first she said that she was in a video of mine, which she was, and in that video the whole joke was I'm going out, I was getting advice from college guys on how to pick up girls' phone numbers and then using that advice on girls. Sometimes I would even ask the girls, like, what's one thing I could say to you that would guarantee you to give me your phone number?
Yeah,
and I did that. I did that to this girl. I said, what's one thing I could say to you that would guarantee me to get your number? And she said, I don't know, maybe offer to buy me a drink. So I said, hey, can I get you a drink? And she said, okay, sure. And I said, all right, then go ahead and give me that number. And she was saying that I was harassing her and pressuring her into giving me her number under false pretenses. That she was made uncomfortable and felt like, she insisted that she kept telling me she had a boyfriend, but that I kept insisting she give me her number. Where if you watch the video, she's halfway through writing her number by the time she even says anything about having a boyfriend.
That video, having that footage was probably the best thing to save your ass. You know?
And then after that, and I don't know if you're gonna put a link to the extra footage in here, but
yeah, I will. I'll put a footage to all 3 of the videos.
Okay. I afterwards, after I had gotten her number, I took a step back to kind of let her walk away, and she stood there. So I said, okay, well, yeah, I guess thanks for your advice. I'll try it. And she kept talking to me. And then I had to make a joke to kind of tell her, like, all right, well, this is done. I'm done with this bit. I'll talk to, thanks, bye. And I walk away from her. And as I'm talking to my camera person, all right, yeah, maybe we should move down here. Maybe we should do this. And we're still rolling. She keeps talking to me. She turns around after walking, 30 steps down the road and says, okay, hey, so this is going to be on this YouTube channel on your card here? And we have a brief little exchange, and she says, okay, thanks, I'll check it out. But
so
then when
she knew exactly what she was getting into. It wasn't that you blindsided her with anything.
Right. And granted, I get it. It's been several months since I've made that video. Maybe she forgot every detail of it, but that was again part of the point that I made. And I am thankful for her to come out and apologize now that she was able to see all of that. She realizes, I think, that she maybe wasn't in the right in saying what she said. But I want to make the point that it's very important to check your facts before making allegations. There was another person in that
it's very irresponsible. And the thing, look, she apologized. It should end at that. I want to make that abundantly clear in this video. But it makes me wonder is that if you didn't have the footage, like say it was an outtake that you got accidentally deleted or something like that, would she have apologized? That's the million. I mean, again, she apologized, and that's all that matters. You move on, okay? But would she have apologized if there wasn't the footage to be like, hey, we know exactly what you did. It's right here. We filmed it.
And there was someone that said, oh, this guy was harassing me at a convention at this convention in this city. And someone called her out and was like, hey, I looked at his uploads. He couldn't have been at that convention because he was at another convention that weekend. And she was, oh, well, I didn't say it was this year.
Oh, that's what's going to happen is the bandwagon shit now, too. Whether it's people that are just offended who are looking just to be, part of that mob mentality, or it's trolls that are just looking to attack you, that's what's going to happen now. Oh, he did it to me. It's like, that's why I'm very concerned. Look, and I'm going to go on a tangent here, but people like Harvey Weinstein, okay, he obviously admitted that he did it, okay. It's disgusting and it needs to be called out. I don't want people to think that if a woman is truly being sexually assaulted or harassed, absolutely she should come forward. But looking at like kind of what happened to you, granted it's not on the same level,
right?
It makes you realize that there has to be innocent until proven guilty. Because what happens is anyone, here's the thing now, a woman could come forward and say she just is pissed off at a guy that she used to work with, whether it be on YouTube or whatever, and he got further in his career than she did, or she didn't like that she didn't get paid enough money by the company that he works for. She could literally come out with a detailed story that sounds believable and destroy that guy.
Right.
And that's kind of like what's happening here with you. ColossalCon came forward, or ColossalCon, I may be saying it wrong, I'm sorry. And they're saying, hey, avoid this guy at all costs. He's terrible. And then look at this domino effect of what's happening. And the thing that bothers me, too, is whether it comes to conventions or places that YouTubers or celebrities actually meet up, is that all you need is one person to complain, and it causes such destruction. This is why when it comes to whether it be conventions or sponsors or whatever, when they fold like a deck of cards, like, all right, we're not going to have them, we're all about diversity, we're not going to have them, they empower these son of a bitches to do these fake allegations so much, because all they have to say is, oh, Brody did this, oh, Rich did this, or oh, Justin did this. And look how much damage it causes. Look at what happens just by an allegation. There's no proof. There's no evidence. You have evidence actually refuting it more so than the people have evidence of you doing things. And you have this mob coming after you with pitchforks. They're going to like tar and feather you. And you literally can prove that you did not do the things that they said that you're doing.
Right. And I think that's such a big part of the problem that you touched on there, is that a lot of the times, even if someone such as myself does have evidence and can prove these things wrong, by the time the allegations are made, a lot of the times the damage is done.
Big time, yeah.
Where it almost doesn't matter if you can, like, because at first I talked to several people about this when this all came out, and a lot of people were saying, dude, I know you're not in the wrong. I've worked with you. I've seen your videos. I've helped you with videos, but just apologize. Just make a public statement on there.
That's the worst thing that you can do.
Right, and it's like I know I didn't do anything wrong. They kept trying to make claims that how could people have known they were being filmed? What, my two cameramen, my lighting guy, and my sound guy didn't tip it off? Like, I had a crew of 4 or 5 people that day. There's no way you didn't know that I was that I was filming.
Yeah, it's not like you were just walking around with like a GoPro, or like glasses that film video or something like that. It's very obvious, unless you're a complete moron, that you were filming. And if you hear, and this is, you touched on something else that makes me regret making some of those videos like that I made on Kevin Spacey and things like that. Now, do I think that Kevin Spacey did do some pretty shady things? Yeah, he kind of alluded to it, but I think there are people right now apologizing in Hollywood and on YouTube just to save their asses. And the thing is, and I'm sure you've noticed this too, Brody, is that it's not saving them. So if there's no reason for you to apologize and you're apologizing hoping just to save your career, don't do it, because it's not going to save your career. If anything, people are like, oh, he apologized, so obviously he did it. And it makes me think back on some videos, like I said, I made on Kevin Spacey, like maybe, I mean, I think he did, but maybe he didn't, and he just said something just to shut people up. And that what you just said your friend told you to say is just apologize. Even though you really didn't do anything wrong, you could prove it with video evidence you didn't do anything wrong. It'll shut everyone up, so do it. And that's so dangerous, man. ColossalCon's should be ashamed of themselves. First off, they handled it terribly. Like I said, I've had issues with sponsors and stuff before where at least I'll give them. There was one time they didn't, but I'm not going to call anybody out. But 99% of the time, they always went behind the scenes. And they said, we have this issue, let's discuss it, or we have this, we're going to, sever ties or whatever. Still bullshit, but it was private.
Right.
What ColossalCon did with you is there's nothing they could do to justify it. Even if you did do something that was truly offensive in those videos, and I'd be like, hey, Brody, look, I hate telling you, man, I watched the video, I kind of see where they're coming from.
Right.
They shouldn't have handled it that way. The
mature way to handle it would have been, if they think that I'm a dangerous threat to their convention, fine. Send me a message, say, they have my email address, they have my Twitter account, my Facebook page, my YouTube account. They have multiple, ways to contact me. They can shoot me a message and say, listen, we've had attendees report you doing some harassing things. We don't want you at our convention. Don't come. And I won't. It's as simple as that. I've had, I actually had a fan once come up to me at a convention and say, hey, I love your stuff. Can I be in your video? I had him tell me the entire history of basketball games on the NES, and he didn't know what he was talking about, and he kind of looked like a goofball. And after the convention, he sent me a message on my Facebook page and said, hey, Brody, like I said, I'm a big fan of yours, but I realized I kind of made a fool of myself in that, and I'd rather you not put it in the video. So I didn't. Yeah. He even commented that on my Facebook page recently. He said, I asked Brody not to show my face, and he didn't. It's as simple as that. But instead, it's so childish the way they handled it. And if you read through some of the comments, like someone said, why hasn't ColossalCon responded to this? And they almost like taking a jab like, screw you nerds. They were like, well, not everyone lives on their computers. Sorry, we haven't gotten to this. Like, are you 15? You run one of the biggest conventions in the state, and you're acting like toddlers. Be adults about it. Again, contact me. I've received no contact from ColossalCon, no formal contact whatsoever.
They've just made it a public spectacle, which is
right.
See, we'll close out the video, and I'll let you have whatever you want to say last too, by saying this: if sponsors and conventions and other public events want to take the wind out of the sails of these idiots that do this, whether it be trolls or social justice warriors or whoever you want to include in the outrage culture, stop dropping people from dropping people from being you sponsoring them, and stop just instantly kicking people out of conventions. Say, okay, you have these allegations against said he or she, look into them first, and if you can't find any evidence backing it up, you can't drop them. You can't. Look, I understand, it's capitalism. People could sponsor whoever they want to. People could have whoever they want to at a convention. But this is what's empowering these people to make up these extreme allegations or these lies and things like that, because they know as soon as they say something, damage is going to be done.
Right.
And whereas if they took the mindset, okay, you have this issue with 8-Bit Brody, let me see those videos and see what it's about. Oh, look, there's nothing really here. Sorry, we're not going to drop him. But the problem is that these conventions and sponsors and whatever the case may be, they bend to these social justice warriors so quickly that these assholes know that look, all I have to do is say one thing and I can destroy this guy. And you're a perfect example of that, man, and that's why I wanted you on the show to talk about this, because this is insane.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, they haven't even banned me. They've done nothing but create an environment of hostility. It's even congoers fighting with each other now, not even about me. Like there was a comment thread about how all these people are babies, and like they get mad about people drinking at conventions, and that started a whole thing. Like this has done nothing but bring animosity to the culture, the entire convention culture, instead of just being mature. And even if they wanted to jump the gun and say, you know what, we watched this video and we do think it's bad, we do think it's harassing, send me an email and say, don't come to our convention, and leave it at that. You don't need to make a public spectacle where people, you're giving people this space to breed hatred and negativity targeted towards me and people defending me. And it's absurd.
And that's exactly what it's doing. And all of these companies and conventions, they're looking to be so politically correct, but what they don't realize is by empowering these people and doing this guilty until proven innocent mindset is that it's causing more friction and more animosity. And maybe they don't care because they're only concerned, look, we want to make sure we appease as many people as possible because it's more profitable for us. But it's creating this very toxic environment, and not just on the internet. It's becoming part of at least American culture as a whole, not even just on the internet. It's everywhere now. So
right.
All right, man, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm glad you got to talk about this, and
thanks for having me.
Hope this video showing this side of this will probably put some pressure on ColossalCon. They don't have to invite you back, but at least maybe they'll come forward with an apology or maybe have some better communication with you. That's what I'm hoping for. So, all right, guys, I'm also going to have a link to 8-Bit Brody's channel in the description if you want to go check it out. I've been watching him for quite a while. He does excellent work, and he could definitely use your support right now. So thank you, Brody, for coming through, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, and to hear more content like this, make sure to subscribe to Review Tech USA.